Happening now, we hear from residents getting their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine here in Jamestown. Plus, a third accusation against New York's governor, the latest in this unfolding scandal.
Well, the sun is out there for today, but is there any warmer temperatures on the horizon? We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. At the day's end, 700 people will be vaccinated with their first dose of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine following a clinic at SUNY JCC today. The Mass Vax event kicked off this morning with residents registering for an appointment last week. This is not the first clinic held at the college. Previously, health officials held 3 other vaccination events at their gymnasium. Natalie Whiteman, the Emergency Preparedness Coordinator with the Chautauqua County Health Department, says over 10 years of planning and practice has gone into the county's mass vaccination plan, which in the end makes the process go smooth.
We ask them as they're entering the hall to take their coat off, get their arm exposed and get ready. They're going to sit down in the chair. The nurse is going to go over some brief medical information with them just to make sure that it is safe for them to get the vaccine. Once we determine that, the nurse is going to give them the shot and the data processor will put the information into the computer. It's that simple.
Now, before the doors opened at 9 this morning, several residents lined up outside waiting for their shot, including Cattaraugus resident Karen Cuther, who says she's getting the shot to protect her family.
I have a husband who is a brittle diabetic, so he is very susceptible to things as well. He is also beginning his shot, but not today. His is tomorrow. I also have a 90-year-old mother-in-law and mother. So to be around them and other older people, you want to make sure that you're not giving it to somebody else.
Now, in the next few days, county health officials tell us they are expected to receive another big shipment of vaccines, with appointments posted online at chqgov.com. We will notify you if and when those slots are available. Well, we started the week off with some good news in the fight against COVID-19. Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine starting to be administered as soon as today. As Britt Conway reports, the vaccine's rollout, however, is in for a tough road ahead.
3.9 million doses of Johnson & Johnson's new COVID-19 vaccine starting to roll out around the country and getting into arms as soon as today. Johnson & Johnson's goal is to ship out 20 million doses by the end of March and 100 million by the end of June. But there are challenges ahead, starting now. Challenge 1, availability.
The supply will be limited for the next couple of weeks following this initial distribution.
That's because more doses still need to be made, and Johnson & Johnson's partners in making the vaccine can only do so much.
It's a very complicated endeavor. Everyone has really stepped up, but there are practical limits to what can be done in very condensed timelines, given the nature of that industrial-wide scale and the regulated environment in which we operate.
Put more simply,
you can't accelerate it by yelling at it, so you have to have the cells growing and the virus is extracted.
Challenge 2, access.
Scheduling remains for far too many people too frustrating, and we need to make it better.
And challenge 3, acceptance. Look at this. A recent poll from the Kaiser Family Foundation shows 15% of Americans say they will not get vaccinated. But for those who are on board,
if I could leave people with one message, it is this: get vaccinated with the first vaccine available to you.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. Medical experts also cautioning against comparing the vaccines, saying there haven't been tested head-to-head. So trying to compare efficiencies isn't comparing apples to apples. Well, 2 Jamestown residents are behind bars after allegedly holding people at gunpoint during a dispute over this past weekend. Jamestown police allege 52-year-old Roberto Morales Sanchez and 23-year-old Taylor Austin were involved in an argument overnight Saturday where Morales Sanchez allegedly pointed a revolver at residents following an argument over stolen property. Furthermore, police say Austin allegedly prevented the victims from calling 911. The people were eventually able to get away, fleeing the house on foot. Neighbors eventually called 911 to report the incident to the cops. Officers were able to track down the two, and police say at the time they were driving around the community looking for the Vic. Well, after getting a search warrant, police found almost $25,000 in cash, a .357 Magnum revolver, and some drug packaging. The two were taken into custody, facing several charges now. As of last check, they are in sheriff's custody. A multi-car pileup near Salamanca closed part of Interstate 86 eastbound last night. Take a look. According to New York State's Department of Transportation, the highway was closed from exit 21, which is Parkway Drive, to exit 23, the Limestone Bradford exit, just after 5:30 at night. Viewer photos showing multiple vehicles involved in this crash, from passenger cars to semi-trucks. Reports indicate at least 15 vehicles involved, with no injuries reported. At the time of the crash, heavy snow and wind was reported in that part of Cattaraugus County. According to the National Weather Service, the snow and wind combined likely caused reduced visibility and slick roads. This was not the only major accident on that highway yesterday. A tractor-trailer crashed off the motorway near Oleand earlier in the day. Thankfully, no injuries. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we get a check of local news and stories that matter to you. Let us know what you think about this and more in the comments down below, or simply say hello. We always love checking in. Great to see Linda. Good to see Amanda. Great to see Pam, Cindy, Joe, and Todd. Good afternoon to all of you. We appreciate your viewership. Well, now let's get a check of our First Defense weather forecast. Hopefully no more slick roads in our future. Afternoon, Dakota.
Good afternoon, Justin, and good afternoon to all of you. And no, there is no slick roads, at least for today and at least for a little bit while longer. This is a live look over the Chautauqua Institution, and man, you can see just a few of those puffy cumulus clouds across the area. That'll do it today, and we actually have some sunshine on the way as well. So there's that little quick hitting blast of moisture that came through the southern tier this morning. These were just a few little light snow flurries that came through. All in all, no accumulation, and they've all tapered off. Now, the high yesterday was 33, but that was early in the day. Temperatures actually dropped through the 20s throughout the day. We started the day at 17, 63, and 23 below zero are the record highs and lows, and it was windy as indeed yesterday. 40 was the peak wind gust at the Dunkirk airport. That actually should say Monday peak wind gusts. I forgot to update that, so never mind that. That should say Monday, and 32 miles per hour was the peak wind gust at the Jamestown airport. So through the afternoon today, a good amount of sunshine through the day. Not as windy as it was yesterday, and it's still going to be chilly, 24 to 30, but the winds will definitely not be a factor through the day. Now, a few more clouds tomorrow. We may get into a few light snow showers Thursday, and then temperatures up as we go into next week. We'll talk about it in detail with that 42 degrees and sunny 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
All right, all eyes on that, Dakota. Thank you. Well, courts throughout New York State will begin to hold some in-person jury selections for trials starting March 22nd, but Chautauqua County Court is not one of them. A Chautauqua County Court clerk telling us that the court does not plan to hold a jury trial in March. No dates are currently set. The clerk's comments came after New York State's unified court system announced yesterday that jury summonses were beginning to be sent out in preparation for jury selection in trials elsewhere. The clerk says that in-person hearings that were previously delayed to COVID-19 would need to happen before the trials begin here. In addition, the clerk furthers that the court, prosecution, and defense are working on identifying cases that could be held due to trial readiness and appropriations under current restrictions. The clerk also told us that this Jamestown man, Tavon Turner's status conference was adjourned last week until March 23rd. Turner, if you remember, is charged with second-degree murder in connection with the 2017 death of Jamestown resident Dylan Ownbay. Well, a third woman is now accusing New York's governor of unwanted sexual advances. As Athena Jones reports, the 33-year-old told her story to the New York Times late yesterday.
Embattled New York Governor Andrew Cuomo silent Monday as a third woman came forward accusing him of an unwanted advance. 33-year-old Anna Ruck recalling to the New York Times a wedding reception in September 2019, where Cuomo approached her, put his hands on her face, and asked if he could kiss her loudly enough for a friend nearby to hear. The moment seemingly captured in this picture from the event, obtained by the Times. And the Times says they corroborated Ruck's story through contemporaneous text messages and photos. Ruck, who worked in the Obama administration and for President Joe Biden's 2020 campaign, was bewildered, the Times reports, and pulled away as the governor drew closer, telling the paper she was so confused and shocked and embarrassed, she turned her head away and didn't have words in that moment. Cuomo did not directly respond to Ruck's allegations. His spokesperson referred the Times to his previous statement on Sunday where he wrote, "I acknowledge some of the things I have said have been misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. To the extent anyone felt that way, I am truly sorry about that."
The governor issued a total non-apology earlier and in effect treated sexual harassment as some kind of laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a joke. It's very, very serious stuff. And we need a full investigation. If it proves that these allegations are true, how can someone lead a state if they've done these kind of things?
Ruck never worked for the governor, but her allegation comes after two of Cuomo's former aides in the last week have accused him of sexual harassment. Charlotte Bennett, who recounted her alleged incidents to the Times this weekend, responding to the governor's statement, writing, "It took the governor 24 hours and significant backlash to allow for a truly independent investigation. These are not the actions of someone who simply feels misunderstood. They are the actions of an individual who wields his power to avoid justice." On Monday, New York Attorney General Letitia James announced she had received the referral for an independent investigation with subpoena power from the governor.
That investigation could have some teeth. With a subpoena power, you can draw down documents, you can compel testimony, you can get recordings if there's any recording. Charlotte did speak to a lawyer inside of the Cuomo administration.
Athena, thank you. Now, Ruck has not commented further on the allegations, and they have not been corroborated yet. Still, calls from New York legislators are growing louder for the governor to resign. Next, here, a lot more to tell you about the latest efforts to pass President Biden's COVID-19 relief plan. And later, hear about new improvements slated for a local park. Stay with us as WNY News Now rolls along on this sunny Tuesday afternoon.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Honest Jones has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for A look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm. And real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. 6 Dr. Seuss books are on their way to become rarities. Dr. Seuss Enterprises announced this morning it will no longer sell the books because they, quote, portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. The statement was released on Dr. Seuss's birthday. The affected books include And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, If I Ran to the Zoo, McCulloch's Pool, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Eggs Super, and The Cat's Quizzer. The company says it worked with a panel of experts to come to this decision. Now, as mentioned, today is Read Across America Day, which was started by the National Education Association to encourage kids to read and get excited about books. The American artist is best known for authoring over 60 children's books. Well, the Senate is on the clock now to pass President Joe Biden's COVID relief bill by the end of the week. Republicans and progressives are unhappy with portions of the legislation, but Democrats are working to shore up votes before key benefits expire. Karen Kafa is in Washington with more on the stimulus bill's next steps.
Millions of Americans rely on unemployment benefits to pay for food and rent.
I am a real person who had a real job, and now I need help so that I can provide for my children.
That money will start running out in less than 2 weeks if Congress doesn't act fast. Now, the pressure is on the Senate to pass President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan.
We go big on unemployment benefits, on opening schools and putting shots in people's arms and money in people's pockets.
But there are bumps in the road. The Senate parliamentarian ruled a proposal in the House measure to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour must be removed in the Senate version. Progressives pushing back.
It is essential that we deliver on this promise.
Senate Democrats pressing forward without the minimum wage increase and without Republican support.
Frankly, we're moving ahead with a bill that probably will get no Republican votes in the Senate.
Republicans have not been involved. I listened to Press Secretary Jen Psaki speaking about how we've been listened to. I started laughing. That is such a joke. They made a conscious decision not to include us.
Republicans say the bill is too big and not focused on COVID relief.
Do we need to pay for bridges? Does that have anything to do with COVID? Do we need to pay for tunnels for Silicon Valley?
Democrats must be fully united if they want to pass this package by the end of the week and get a bill on the president's desk before pandemic benefits expire. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Karen, thank you. Once the bill does pass the Senate, it will have to go back to the House for another vote. Democrats in both chambers have one goal: to get the relief signed into law by March 14th. A new survey of single Americans found that more than half of them feel optimistic about finding the one in 2021. Dating, like many things, have changed a bit because of COVID. According to the survey commissioned by the dating service Plenty of Fish, disagreements over COVID protocols ended most relationships for people. I can believe that. 2,000 Americans were surveyed in total. 37% say they're looking forward to holding hands, first kisses, and smiling without masks on once the pandemic's over. But still, 52% of people plan to continue virtual and social distancing dating through at least this year. Maybe best of all, for singles, 39% of people think ghosting will become a thing of the past. Well, back here at home, the Frewsburg Fire Department is hosting a fundraiser later this month to help fund vital emergency services in their community. The Volunteer Fire Department is hosting a chicken and biscuit dinner on Saturday, March 27th from 5 to 8. The $10 meal includes good old mashed potatoes and veggies. They're asking interested community members to reserve their meal by Thursday, March 25th. A couple ways you can do that. You can call 716-569-3506 or simply leave a message on their Facebook page with the number of meals requested. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Hopefully you're having a great day as we kicked off a brand new month yesterday. Let's check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's monitoring this new month's weather. And I think, Dee, we're always talking about it in the weather department, right? When you think of March, is it going to come in like a lion? Mm-hmm. Is it going to come in like a lamb? And then obviously a lot of superstition says that triggers the month going out. I'd have to say yesterday there was a good amount of crashes. So I'd almost say yesterday was a little bit like a lion, but today more lambish.
Yes, it is. Yes, and
is that a term?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just coined
lambish.
Lambish.
I don't know. Let's get the dictionary from the newsroom and see.
I'll go get the AP style book.
Yes, AP style book. It might have it in there. But anyway, we wanted to take one last look back at the winter for you, the meteorological winter. So, yeah, the winter actually, in the meteorological sense, obviously yesterday started the official start of spring, but in the astronomy world, we have a few more weeks left of winter before we actually get into spring here.
Western New York, there's like another month of winter.
Yes, I know. So, spring doesn't officially start on the calendar, but, Mother Nature has its own thing here. But looking back on winter here, looking at the month of December here, we had 18.5 inches of snow. The temperature was 3.7 degrees above normal. January, 16.3 inches of snow, 4.7 degrees above normal. 20 inches of snow in February. We were down 1.6 degrees for the average high. And a lot of this actually came from those lake effect snow showers. And we have 5 more weeks left of winter. I know it's hard to believe, but 5 more weeks left to go. And it was a chilly start this morning. 9 in Delavan in the hills, Cattaraugus County, 10 in Olean, 13 Little Valley, 14. This is at the Mesonet site, 14 at the airport, 17 at the Jamestown airport, 18 at Dunkirk. So it was a chilly morning out there, and man, you can't tell it was that cold this morning. Look at the cumulus clouds over the Doubletree camera. We're at 22 though, so yeah, it doesn't really feel all that warm. But the winds are light though, southwest at 4, so the wind chill is only a measly 16 degrees. Big area of high pressure is actually splitting 2 storm systems, one to our north, one to our south. Notice the rain down there in the deep south. This high pressure is keeping those storm systems away from us, but we do have a little bit of cloud cover through the day today. But look at what FutureScan does to the cloud cover. It clears it away for the afternoon and especially into tonight. So tonight will be partly to mostly clear, and it won't be as cold tonight as it was this morning. And we'll start to see the clouds coming back again tomorrow afternoon, but at least the day should be dry. Then going into Wednesday night, going into Thursday, even though it's not depicted here, we will see the chance for a few scattered snow showers going into Wednesday night and Thursday. Now looking down the road here, is there any sign of spring? Well, yes. The 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows you this big area of the oranges and the pinks here. That is that above average air. So we're talking temperatures likely next week in the 50s. That's not a guarantee, so don't quote us on that, but it looks likely that we could break the 50s for the first time this year. So the zone forecast, the Lake Erie shoreline, you'll hang around 30 degrees for the day. Lots of sunshine though, and the winds definitely not as strong as they were yesterday. Inland areas, possibly upper 20s will do it here. If you squeak out a 30, consider yourself lucky there, but at least a lot of sunshine will be in the air. Now, the next 7 days of your life, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 40 tomorrow, more clouds in the air, and then a few scattered snow showers on Thursday. Cold sun Friday, 31. Just a few scattered snow showers on Saturday, 33. And look at the temperatures go up for the second half of the weekend into Monday. We'll be knocking on that 50-degree mark on Monday. We'll take a break and be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset. Every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind, to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Welcome back. Finally here today, a project that would transform a popular park in Lakewood is scheduled to break ground next spring. The Lakewood Community Development Corporation says a state-of-the-art, all-inclusive playground will be built in Hartley Park in spring of 2022. The playground will feature natural colors and several unique installations like a zip line, dual hill racing slides, and a custom imaginary play clubhouse. Additionally, there will be new park walkways, stairs, and an ADA accessible parking place. The group plans to fund the $400,000 project through various private donations and grants from local foundations. Notably, so far over $125,000 have been raised from private donors. Sponsorship or donation opportunities are posted right now at lcdcny.org. Certainly great to see. It will be a much needed improvement. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. Hopefully you all are doing well and staying warm out there, maybe enjoying some of that beautiful sun. It's great to see Darian, good to see Trish, Linda, Butch, Rachel, and Dora as well. Let us know what you guys think about these stories and more in the comments down below. I'm excited for that, Dakota. I think it'll be a cool thing. I'm not going to necessarily go out there and try the slide.
Oh, come on.
But no, I don't know.
Get up there, walk up the slide.
Yeah, maybe.
Slide down it.
I have to see what the weight limit is.
Oh.
It's
cool. You
cool.
see, the problem with slides, though, if they're plastic, you
Yeah.
get the static charge and you get zapped
and then
all over the
my
place.
hair is going to go crazy.
Yeah, and
God
then if it's
forbid.
metal, your whole butt is completely roasted off.
Right.
So you can't win.
It's cool. It's cool rendering. I do hope it comes to life. And that's a really great stretch. I remember going there with my grandparents as kids to Lakewood Beach and swimming in the lake.
Yep. I remember those days.
Incredible to see new improvements coming in. It's a beautiful section of town. I mean, a lot of people, when you think of Lakewood, locals specifically, I think of Wally World, and I think of like Wegmans, even though that's technically not Lakewood. But that's what I think of. But you don't always think of the village of Lakewood and that awesome stretch of small businesses there. So it's great to
Especially right by the clock tower.
Yeah, you can walk business to business, much like you would here in downtown Jamestown, and have a very homey experience.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was in summer camp, I went to summer camp at the Lakewood Y, and this was many years ago, back in the Stone Age. But I remember we took a field trip to the Lakewood Beach, and I remember swimming in the Lakewood Beach. This was probably around 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. Now, of course, the lake was never all that clean.
Right. It isn't today.
With.
I mean, they're working on it.
But I mean, that would be the one thing I would like to see come out of all the cleaning efforts out of the lake would be the ability to swim in it again.
Right. Get the kids back in the water. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could swim in it now as long as it wasn't like a harmful bloom. I know that's the one thing that they're really, especially animals. They say they can drink the water and it'll cause problems. So.
Well, unless you want a mouthful of seaweed.
Right. Nobody wants that. Mouths closed.
Yes. And masks.
Mouths. True noun masks.
Right. And the goggles. Just get the face shield. 20 to 26 tonight. Partly to mostly clear. Not as chilly, but the wind will pick up overnight and warmer temperatures are on the way for early next week, Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll be looking forward to those. Thank you. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, News 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. That's the place to be. If you haven't downloaded our mobile app yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's free. You get awesome local news. Just search WNY News Now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Dakota and I are back tomorrow with our Wacky Wednesday edition. Hope to see you then.
Not that it can any more wackier than this.
Right. This is the best.